guys, my name is Amaya and welcome to my channel. If you're wondering why I'm in the same clothes as yesterday's video, it's the same day. So, today is Christmas Eve and tomorrow I'm going to be going out of town. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I decided to do something different this Christmas and have brunch with my family tomorrow. So, I'm going to be going out of town and I'm not gonna want to be recording around them. I'm just want to, enjoy their presents and stuff. I'm gonna be doing the Christmas video today. I just want to talk. It's been a minute since I've just talked the way that I want to. So let's talk. Yes, this is the same project I was working on in the last video. Yes, I'm still working on it because I've been procrastinating. Let's talk crochet for a bit. I've noticed a quality difference when it comes to certain yarn. I'm talking about Joann's yarn, specifically Big Twist. As you all know, if you've watched my videos, I love Joann. I love shopping at Joann's compared to Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I recently did a switch over to Joann's yarn from Red Heart, because I was using Red Heart for a long time and I was like, you know what, let me try something different, especially when a lot of people like just talk down on Big Twist. Stop saying Big Twist, talk down on Red Heart. So I did a switch over to Big Twist and I've been trying to use up since there's been a lot of slander regarding Red Heart. I was like, you know what, let me switch over to Big Twist, because I hear people talk about Big Twist a lot, especially when it comes to affordability. And I shop at Joann, so I'm like, you know what, let me just support my girl Joann by buying her yarn. But lately I've been noticing like Joann's yarn is not, the Big Twist yarn, I'm not liking it anymore. And I haven't really used it I haven't really used it that much. And I know one reason that a lot of people use that yarn is because of the sales. Like $2-3 for a skein of yarn, definitely a steal. But I've been noticing, like, when I first started using Big Twist yarn, right, it was the weight for that I was used to, and it was still as soft as it is, but it was also, it wasn't, the quality wasn't as bad as it is now. So recently, like in the last couple weeks, maybe, I don't know, the last couple videos, I'll just say that, I did a Big Twist haul because I got paid, and I was like, you know what, let me just go to Joann and get me some yarn. So I did that, and the yarn that I've been using has been so bad. Like, one, it's thin. Like, you would think it's a weight 3 and it's actually weight 4. At least that's what it says on the label. But I'm like, I'm not used to this. And it's making like all of my projects smaller than what they normally are. And I don't like that, because I have to figure out, okay, which hook is best for it. And, I got to do extra rows, and it's just too much. It's just too much. So I think I'm going to either try out Hobby Lobby's yarn, because I've heard people really like Hobby Lobby's brand of yarn. I love this yarn brand. Or I'll just switch back over to Red Heart, which I think I might just try out Hobby Lobby's yarn. I don't really care for Hobby Lobby as a whole, but I might try out their yarn just to get some experience and, trial and error to see what I like and what I don't like. Especially, I already know what Red Heart's like. I went to Walmart, right? And one day, it was someday, and I ran out of black, and Joanne didn't have the black that I wanted. I think it was the red. It was actually the Red Heart brand. It wasn't the Big Twist brand. They didn't have any black in stock. So I'm like, oh my God, I need some black. So I went to Walmart and got the Mainstays brand. They did have the Red Heart brand, but I was like, the Mainstays brand is cheaper. Let me just get the Walmart brand. And I got home. So like I had started on a hat with black that I already had, and I ran out of it. So I decided to finish with the Mainstays brand. And I looked at it, I'm like, something not right. Both of these are black, but one of these are ashy and the other one is like jet black. The one I started with was a darker black, and the Mainstays brand was so ashy, like it was an ashy black. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't want an ashy black. I want black. So, I mean, I just did what I could. And I was like, luckily, it's just me wearing it. I'm just wearing it for myself, you know, when I'm, you know, to keep my ears warm. But I was like, I'm not buying that. If I was just using the Mainstays brand on the entire hat, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. But I do notice that the Mainstays brand does have that consistency of Red Heart a little bit, but it's still kind of, it's more scratchy to me. Like, a lot of people don't like Red Heart. I do, personally. I kind of just fell into the trap. I'm not dissing Red Heart by any means. Like, I still use Red Heart. I'll continue to try out Mainstays. I probably won't buy the black. You know, other colors might work. But I don't think I'm gonna do a full, I don't know. I think the full switches, the full yarn brand switch helps me to recognize what yarns I like versus which ones I don't, compared to just buying one skein, if that makes sense, for me personally. So if I do start shopping at Hobby Lobby after I stash bust, of course, I'll probably just get a bunch of the yarn and just test it out. And if I don't like it, I'll just stash bust and probably go back to Red Heart. And I don't use cotton yarn because all the cotton yarn that I've ever used or bought has been I don't like how hard it is. And I know cotton is best for like wearables and things like that, but it's so hard, like compared to acrylic is softer in my opinion. Maybe I haven't found a soft cotton yarn yet, but all of the ones that I have had experience with have all been hard. Like, I still have like 2 balls. I have some skeins of white cotton yarn that I haven't used, and I've had them for like a year maybe, and I've never touched them ever, because I was going to, well, I just grabbed it because I was like, okay, I want to try some cotton, so I'm gonna grab something. I wasn't really concerned about the texture or the consistency at the time, but I've never used it because I realized, like, ew, I don't like how this feels. So I didn't use it. Not even an inch, not even like a little piece of it has been touched. So I'll eventually use it on something that's like something unimportant, like part of the border of something, or I don't know, just something very small, or something that you won't recognize. It's not as important. So I don't think it'll be a wearable. Like, I could use it around the border of this, to be honest. Will I? I don't know. But I do need to get rid of a lot of yarn that I will never, ever, ever, ever use. But I don't want to donate it. And I don't have anybody to give it away to. So I'll just have to use it. But, yeah, when I get the chance, probably after the holiday season, maybe closer to my birthday, I'll do a switch. Just depending on how my yarn stash is looking. More than likely, it'll be lower than what it is, especially since I'm gonna be crocheting for every day up until January 19th. So it'll probably get low. That was corny, but yeah, I'll do that switch over to I love this yarn, and if I don't like it, I'll just go back to Red Heart at this point. Besides that, I've been thinking about, ever since I started back crocheting from that burnout that I had, I've been thinking about what is it called, rebranding, like a lot. And I haven't had the opportunity to, because I've been just wanting to crochet. So it's like, even when it comes to editing, like I don't even want to stop to edit videos and stuff, because I just want to crochet. So eventually I will get back. Eventually I will rebrand, and it'll probably be closer to the new year or after the new year, maybe. But I will eventually rebrand. I'm thinking about rebranding my name, my logo, just my whole look, because I feel as though my brand does not match me anymore like it used to. And I'll probably just change it to something, because my brand has changed probably like 3 times. Like every year probably I change my brand, because eventually it starts to feel like my brand doesn't match me anymore. So I think this time when I change it, I'll change it to something that will always match me, like my name or something related to my birthday, or something that will always match me. So but I also want to get rid of these business cards before I change my name too, because I don't want to be holding on to these business cards, or just feel like it was a waste of money to have these business cards and stuff, and I'm not going to be able to use them anymore. Oh, well, speaking of that, I'm thinking of doing some markets, and maybe that will get rid of my business cards and even my thank you cards, which is also why I'm deciding to crochet a lot. Not to the point of burnout. I'm not going to do that to myself again. I'm not going to stress myself out or feel like I'm on a time crunch. But I do want to make some more stuff to attract more people to my Etsy, because I've had a peak in the summer, and then closer to August, September, it started to slow down, and now it's at a standstill of just like, I get visits and people look, but there's no traffic. So, which is why I did end up putting book covers on there. If you which is why I did end up putting book covers on there. And if you haven't seen those book covers, you can look at them on my Etsy, or you can even look at them on my Instagram. I don't think I did a post about it though, which I probably should. But I do have a lot of ideas when it comes to new things I can make. It's just me having to think ahead and not just think about what's currently going on. Like, I can start making summer stuff right now and then have the inventory for it when the summertime comes. But that'll just be something that I put into consideration when it comes to markets and even Etsy. or something that is just a year-round thing, which is why I did those book covers, because I mean, you can read year-round. I know fall and winter are like the peak seasons for readers, not reading, but readers, like book people. But I mean, people read all year round, so that's one reason I did the book covers, because that's something that people will always will want to get into, or will need all year round. But I will be brainstorming other things, like even when it comes to hats. I know people wear hats year round, but not really. Like, you don't see people wearing too many hats in the summertime. You see them mostly wearing them in wintertime. Even the ruffle hats that I was making, when it comes to those ruffle hats that I was making, those were a staple piece in the summer. But I feel like with crochet, with acrylic yarn, it's not really a summer piece of material compared to cotton. It's not breathable. It's very sweaty and heavy. It's a heavy material. I don't know, everybody's different, but that's just something that I think about when it comes to selling. Like, I don't want to sell something. I don't want to advertise something as something that it's not. Like, I wouldn't wear acrylic in the summer. Probably in the winter, maybe. But in the summer, no. And I wouldn't want somebody else to, and, you know, it's causing them problems. Oh, it's too hot, and, you know, they don't really get to enjoy the product that they paid for, because it just bought it at the wrong time, or it was being advertised to them at the wrong time. Commercial break from that. But when I was talking about the big twist yarn and how thin it is, I just used this orange for the big twist, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot thinner than this one, and even this one. Like, this is, I think this is a Capricorn yarn. I don't know if this is a weight 3 or weight 4, but I hate using this yarn. And I got it because it was shiny and it was necessary for a commission. But I have a lot of this shiny Capricorn yarn. I don't know what it's called, but I don't like it because it's thin. Like, it splits easily, and then it's thin, so I have to double it up in order for it to get to the consistency that I need it to be. Like, this is perfect because I've been doubling it up, and I've been feeling like that's something I needed to do with this big twist yarn, because it's so, like, I don't like it. I don't know if you can tell, the pattern is a lot shorter. Let me see. I don't know if you can tell, but compared to this, these are taller stitches than these. They're shorter. And it's so, like, thin right here. I like how soft it is. It, like, I don't know. I don't like it. So, but I do like how, and it might just be because of how thin it is. If I use one strand of the big twist, I don't have to steam my projects as much as like any other yarn I've used, like Red Heart. And it could just be because it's thick, or I mean because it's thin, or it just could be because it's a softer yarn. But that is one pro that I like about big twist. We're back from commercial break. Besides that, I want to also talk about like the lettering that I've been doing. I don't know if it's better to sew it or better to hot glue it on. There's pros and cons to both. One, sewing it takes a lot longer and it doesn't look as clean as I would like it to. And that just might be a personal issue because I don't really know how to hand sew, even with the pins in place. but I feel like with hot gluing it on there is cheating. And you can kind of tell that it's been hot glued and not sewed on. At least from a creative's perspective, a crocheter's perspective. Like this, y'all saw me hot glue this on in the last one. Like, to me, it looks like patches, like the letter patches, compared to, like, it doesn't look like it's been sewed on. It looked like it's been ironed on or hot glued on. And it's more convenient that way, but I don't know if it gives an unprofessional look or if it's cheating actually. But to be honest, I feel like do whatever's best for you, but at the same time, I feel like that's cheating. Also, with this big twist yarn, yes, I'm gonna keep coming back to it. You might notice it in a second when I'm done with this yellow, but I was right. It is a lot smaller than what it needs to be. Like, it'll probably be a little bit up higher if it was the right texture. And then something else, when I was crocheting with the orange one, it kept making my project like shrink in. It kept squinching it in. I don't know if you can even see it now, like it's squinched in. And I'm like, I used the right amount of stitches and everything. It's just because it's thinner. Both of these are weight 4. All of this is weight 4. You'll see it in a second. Because this yellow is actually going to be taller than this because it is the right consistency that it needs to be. Like, you might not be able to tell on the camera, right? But this orange is supposed to be the same length as this, and it's not. Let me grab my measuring tape to show you. So the red part is 4 inches. And the orange part is 3 inches. Bro, I'm not kidding. Let me show you. 4 inches. Three inches. And I used the same amount of rows. Same amount of rows. Same amount of rows. I'm officially canceling Big Twist yarn. Big Twist, you've disappointed me. I haven't even known you that long. Like, in the beginning, we was cool. But you started to show your true colors when you started doing that $2.79 yarn. That's why you $2.79. And I shouldn't have trusted you when you was $2.79. I'm not trusting you no more. But until then, I'll just deal with this Big Twist yarn because I have a whole bag of it. And I can't let go of it now because I just bought a whole bag of Big Twist yarn. So I have to stash bust. I have no other choice but to stash bust. So that's what I'm gonna do. What time is it? It's 5:15. When will I get done with this? I'd say maybe 8. Depending on how quickly I can get this over with. I plan on doing until blue, so I have green and then blue. I might end up adding purple just to make it a little bit longer. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Let me know if y'all agree with anything that I said, because I don't really have anybody else to talk to about crochet related things. And it'll be nice to have somebody that I can converse with about anything crochet related. So I forgot to do an outro, but here's me showing that the yellow is 4 inches right here. Anyway, bye guys. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video.